So we are back with another mukbang, and as we
soul food edition.
Yes, we promised a soul food mukbang, and we're back with a soul food mukbang. We got our food today from Irma's Soulfood Kitchen.
Irma's Soulfood Kitchen for the mukbang.
Yes. So
fried chicken. I just got a four-piece fried chicken, fried okra, mac and cheese, cornbread. That's as soul food as it gets, in my opinion.
And I have macaroni and cheese, yams, wings, and cornbread.
Yeah, and a piece of bread to go with the chicken.
So today we are talking about what, baby?
I think we're just gonna talk about like our year. You better not eat without us saying grace. Father God, I just thank you for this food. I thank you for the hands that prepared it. I pray a blessing over it. Blessing over the hands that prepared it for us. I pray that we remember you and your body as it was broken and your blood as it was spilled to cleanse us and forgive us of our sins. I pray that we would just look for you in all things and hear your voice in all things and seek you always. And it's your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
So what are we talking about?
So we're talking about highs and lows, I think, from 2018. It's that good, huh? Highs and lows from 2018.
We gonna talk about the lows as well? Might as well, right?
Might as well, yeah.
Okay. You wanna start or you want me to start?
I'll start.
And I'm drinking Lipton's raspberry sweet tea.
I think my high is definitely your birthday and your birthday trip that we took. Like, it's hard to top that. This is our first vacation together since we've been married. Mm-hmm. We've taken other trips since we've been married. Mm-hmm. But in the 4 years that we've been together, like, we haven't gone anywhere wild. Mm-hmm. And that trip was just, not just that it was a vacation, but it was such a good experience for us to come together and, like, to work on our communication with each other and to grow together. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I just feel like we learned a lot. We learned a lot about Barbados. Had a good time. Driving mopeds, surfing, seeing turtles, mm-hmm. eating flying fish sandwiches, mm-hmm. some good Caribbean food. Mm-hmm. And the people there were awesome. So that was definitely one of my highs for this year. Mm. What about you?
Okay, so for me, one of the highs of this year was hearing God a little more clearly as it related to my business. If you've been on this journey with Jená and I for a while, and specifically me, and watch my holistic lifestyle channel, then you know that I have had pockets of severe struggle in my business. And this was the first year where I got kind of like out of my own way. And like, I knew what God, you know how you know what God is saying to you, but it's just like, you don't execute it properly. Like you add your own stuff to it and try to zoop it up and dupe it up. I kind of took a step back, started from square one, and I felt like I really saw God honor obedience in my life. And it's just like the when it says in the Bible that obedience is better than sacrifice, is like I get it now. So I think just having, like, reaching more women and, like, having more impact, making more money, being more fulfilled in my business has definitely been one of the highs for me.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
And that's impacted you because it's like it's impacted my mood, so that makes you happy, that I'm happy.
Right. Mm-hmm. Happy wife, happy life.
And you used to hate that. He used to hate that saying, y'all.
It was like, oh, what? If I'm not happy, it doesn't matter? So I think another high for me is definitely our marriage workshop that we went through earlier this year. Because it's been a big thing for us to find married
So when you doing no lows?
I'm going to do another high.
Okay.
It's been a big prayer for us to be with other married couples in community, especially interracial married couples. Mm-hmm. And this workshop was, leading up to it, I was wanting to do it and asked Jená about it. And she's like, do you really want to do this? And I said, if nothing else, at least we'll meet some married couples. Mm-hmm. And it's funny that our table, we had 4 married couples at each table was this setup. And our table had a white couple, a black couple, us, and then a couple with a white woman and a black man. So it was like hilarious. Couldn't have been more perfect in that regard. Mm-hmm. But that was a really good growing point for us in a relationship together, and then also just having married friends. Mm-hmm. So we've been able to keep in touch with those, married friends, not as much as we would like to, but we have all been able to get together a couple times and spend time with each other. Mm-hmm. And that's just been good for us to have that married couple community, which is something that we've got that with our other friends that we've grown up with or gone to college with or worked with that have gotten married, but they're not here. So being in like that close proximity to a married couple and being able to go out to dinner with them has been really good. Mm-hmm. So that's a big high for me.
So,
are you gonna do a low?
No, I'll do another high. Let me think. I think turning 30 was a high for me, right?
Why? It's not just a birthday for you?
I mean, it was all of it, right? So it was the international trip. It was being able to take it with you. But it's like, I really don't understand. Well, I do understand because I used to be one of those people. But people feel like 30 is like so old, right? I was watching this YouTube video and this girl was, I think she said she was 24. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so close to 30. I was like, sis, shut up. Like, no, like people be counting, oh my God, I'm 7 years away from 30. I'm 6 years away from 30. I'm 4 years.
You probably
but you're not, I did though, but you're not 30. Like, you're not, like he's 29 and he be like, sometimes I say he's 30 and I was like, no, you're not 30, you're 29. But it's like people fear turning 30 because it's like if they haven't reached this certain level of status or they haven't done this thing that they set out to do, then it's just like, oh my God, what is my life? But it's like when you turn 30, it's like a new level of freedom that you experience. At least for me, it was just like, I was like, you know what? I'm 30. I done been on this earth 3 decades. And it's some stuff that I'm just not going to tolerate from other people and for myself anymore. And it's almost like I feel like certified. Like, I'm 30. You know how I feel like sometimes older people like to say, oh, you're just a baby. But I feel like a certified adult. Like, I'm 30. Like, I ain't one of these little kids you gonna play with. So, for me, turning 30 was like a spiritual experience and a mental experience and emotional experience, and then I got to bring it in such a relaxing, beautiful manner with my best friend, my lover, my husband, my bae. So turning 30 for me this year was definitely a high. I did not dread it. I walked into it flat-footed with my chest poked out, proud. So yeah,
that's a good one. Mm-hmm. So, something that I heard recently that I think has a lot of merit to it is when you turn 30, like up until you turn 18, 21, you just have kind of those like goal years. They don't really mean anything. And then 25 comes.
They can mean things. But I get what you're saying. I get the point you're trying to make.
And then 25 comes, maybe your insurance goes down, you're like, oh, I'm a quarter of a century old. But then you get to 30 and it's like, okay, I finally kind of got life sort of figured out. Mm-hmm. But I'm still young enough to do and have fun things, and maybe I don't have children yet, or even if I do, I'm still young. And not to say that if you're older, you can't do the fun things.
Right.
Not to say that at all. But it's just, I feel like most people have that mentality of like, oh, well, I'm still young. I can still have fun. I can still do the things that I want to do, be physical, be active, which you can still do while you're older. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of allure, I think, to your 30s in that regard.
That makes sense.
So, I still say I'm 30 all the time. I just don't feel like... I forget how old I am. I'm like, oh, what year was I born? 89, okay, so... yeah, I'm 29. Mm-hmm. If I just say 30, it's easy.
So are you going to do it high or low?
I'm trying to think of those. I got another high. The Lord has been faithful this year. Answered prayers with our family.
Yeah.
And this trip to Richmond, Virginia that Jená and I took with her parents and my parents, that was just amazing. I've had a distant relationship with my mother and father for a couple of years now, and since that and like the 3 days prior to that, our relationship has just been completely made brand new. So that was a huge high for me, being back in community with them, mm-hmm. and like building a fresh start with them, mm-hmm. and having a more intimate relationship and a deeper relationship with them. Mm-hmm. So that's been a huge thing for me. It's big time. So.
Well, the thing about 2018 is 2018 really has been a long year. When I sat and thought about everything that happened this year, I was like, a lot has happened.
Like what?
Like, from movies that have come out, like Black Panther, yeah. and the Avengers and the Infinity Wars to...
That's the same movie.
You know what I mean? Like, Guardians of the Galaxy and, like, Ant-Man. And, like, it's, so many Marvel movies have come out in this year. It's like, me turning 30 and then taking that trip to Barbados. And then, like, several of my teammates getting married. And me being able to go and, like, celebrate with them. And, like, so much has happened within me. And, like, growth that has happened in me. Growth that has happened in my business. God has, like, rekindled some friendships that were broken. God has sent and built new, like, stronger relationships in my life. Mm-hmm. I tried new, like, fitness classes. Like, I feel like so much has happened this year.
You started boxing, doing ballet more seriously, doing gymnastics more. Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just been such a long year. And I feel like there honestly have been lows, but for me, this has been a year where my lows, God has literally taken them, put that God, dust on it, and showed me, because the word tells us that He uses everything. Like, everything isn't His fault, but He'll use whatever circumstance, whatever situation for His glory. And we know that, right? But this year has been one of the first years, probably not the only year, but it's just so prominent in my mind where I have seen it with my own eyes, where He has taken things inside of me, mentalities, heart postures, past hurts, past pains, and with those lows, He has literally lifted them up, flip them around, and use them for my good. So, like, for me to just sit and be like, a low is this, a low is this, and I'm like, it was a low, but it was, like, kind of not a low because it, like, changed me.
Right. I feel like other years, it's been easier to see the lows.
Oh, yeah.
And not see the positives that were there. Where I feel like this year, the lows are there. I think they've just been dwarfed by the highs.
I think our attitude is different too.
Our attitude's different, and what you said also, like, it hasn't been a low that hasn't been turned around and brought back for, you know, God's glory. So those lows aren't really lows.
2018 has really been a good year. Like, it really has been a good year. And God has shown up so faithful so many times. And honestly, I believe, kind of like we were saying, that this year has been such a good year because we have been, what y'all don't see behind the camera is all of the work that John and I have put into not only our relationship, but our relationship as a couple with God and individually as God with God. Like, getting real with ourselves, like being in church and being like, okay, God, I'm struggling with this, and I know it's not right. Take it away from me. And situations happening, and us like taking a step back, breathing, and asking God, really lead us. Like, you know, my prayer has been for a few weeks, a few months, I guess now. God, I know it's stuff inside of me that ain't right. I know I have blind spots. Show me my blind spots. Like, I'm at a point now where I don't want anything to come between us, anything to come between our relationship. And if that means you showing me what really is inside of my heart, what things in my heart grieve you, then do that for me. But even in that, I was like, and I talked about this in my newsletter, so if you're not on my newsletter, get on my newsletter. And God, when you show me, please help me not to hate myself. Because sometimes when we take a really good look at what's in here,
yeah, that's good,
and God shows us how he sees us,
yeah,
it can make us not like who we are. And I was like, when you reveal these blind spots to me, like, I don't want to hate myself, right? And God is so faithful because stuff that he has shown me, it's like when he shows me, God, I just praise your name. It's like when he shows me, it's like convicting and comforting at the same time. Because it's just like, God, I know it's in my capacity, especially through you, through Jesus, through the Holy Spirit that lives inside of me, for me to make these changes. And every time something happens or something comes up, he doesn't let it pass without being like, focus. This is the thing. This is in your heart. Get it right now. Like, because I don't want to do it once and be like, oh, and then miss it again. So if it's something I'm doing, like, even, okay, I'll use this as an example. What you remember something happened and we were talking and I stood back and I was like, oh man, God just showed me myself as it relates to you. And I was just like, something about being grateful for something.
I don't remember.
I can't remember the specifics of the situation, but I remember one day, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was sitting down with John and we were having a conversation. And it was something that he did that, like, I was irritated by. And then God was like, boom, you're irritated. This is me showing you your heart. And I was like, what? And I stood, like, I took a step back and, like, I thought about it and I could see it so clearly. I'm like, I'm irritated about this thing. And it's out of sorts. Like, okay. I'm grateful. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, I'm grateful that he does that. Because it shows that he's present and that he loves me. And, like, he's literally going out his way to make me happy. I can't remember the specific instance, but God snapped me together so fast. And, it brought tears to my eyes. I can remember, like, being like, oh wow, God, you are really doing what I asked you to do. You are really showing me things in my heart that I need to change. And I looked at him, I was like, John, God just got me together and you don't even know it. And so it wasn't just that instance. It's like multiple times after that, when I got irritated, God brought me back. So he keeps reminding me of the lessons that he's trying to teach me so I can build new habits. So, like, even that, and even God showing me my heart and me, like, desiring to be better, like, that's work that I put in, work that John has put in on the back end. So that really has improved our attitude. It has really improved our perspective and how we look at life. And so when we're saying, oh, 2018 has been the best year ever, it's been a really good year because we've put work in. Mm-hmm. Like, you only get back what you put in, and if you're sowing into good ground, and I feel like we've been sowing into good ground, it's just like our life has been changing.
And I feel like that's not safe to, like, don't take that the wrong way in that, oh, you do the work and you'll instantly see the results. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't mean to say like we didn't work in previous years for the same things, because we did. This year was more intentional.
Way more intentional.
Way more intentional. I mean, we worked on our marriage hard. We worked on ourselves hard. So I think God has been faithful for that. Mm-hmm. And not to say that we've seen the results of everything that we've done. Mm-hmm. But, you know, God has been good to us this year. Mm-hmm. So there's been a lot of growth in us individually and as a married couple, mm-hmm. as a tag team, mm-hmm. back again. So it's just been a good year in that regard.
Yeah. So that is it for this soul food mukbang.
As we still eat. Sorry, y'all, there's no lows to share.
I mean, there are lows, but like we said.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this mukbang. I hope you have been enjoying Vlogmas. As always, I hope you have liked this video. Subscribe if you have not. If you enjoyed this and enjoyed this topic of conversation, please share this video out with those friends and family in your network. So
if you don't follow us already on Instagram at
TheFitnessJEM
and at JP_Utley. Mm-hmm. Go follow us. Mm-hmm. She posts a lot. I don't, but my stuff is good too.
Yes. So until next time, bye. Be blessed.
See y'all.